Time to go inside the news at 1 p.m. Bank shares leading the declines on Wall Street. The KBW Bank Index is down nearly 1% after a court ruling voided foreclosures on 2 homes, which may cause sales of other foreclosed properties to be invalidated. The ruling by Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court upheld a lower court ruling against U.S. Bancorp and Wells Fargo. Shares of both banks are falling. Attorneys general in all 50 U.S. states are examining foreclosure practices, including whether lenders are forcing people out of their homes despite incomplete documentation. Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke sounded cautiously optimistic about the U.S. economic recovery when he testified before the Senate Budget Committee. Bernanke said he saw signs that the recovery was self-sustaining, but added that the Fed anticipated heightened unemployment to persist for at least another year. The Fed chairman said the central bank was committed to its quantitative easing program, which fell under its dual mandate. But that mandate could change.
We think the current mandate is workable. That being said, I think it's entirely appropriate for the Senate and the Congress to consider what mandate they want to set. There are, after all, central banks around the world that do focus primarily on price stability. And whatever decision the Congress makes, of course, we will honor that decision and pursue that mandate.
Now, for more on the Fed and its dual mandate, we're joined by Reuters Fed correspondent Pedro da Costa. Well, Pedro, Bernanke says it's up to Congress, but does Bernanke have to walk a fine line when he talks about the dual mandate?
You know, he does, because he doesn't want to seem like he really doesn't care about the employment side of the picture. It was interesting. It was the first time Bernanke made public remarks about the dual mandate since Republicans have been pressing for potentially narrowing the mandate to focus solely on inflation. Now, in his response, he seemed rather receptive to the idea. There could be 2 reasons for that. One, he might actually believe that having a single mandate would make the Fed's job easier, and he might actually prefer it. But he could also just be sort of punting the political issue because he doesn't actually believe that it will get enough traction in Congress to go through and doesn't want to expend any political capital fighting. But it's a story worth watching.
All right, thanks for your analysis, Pedro. Now, in today's hot stocks, shares of KB Home are rising. They're trading about 3 times their average daily volume over the past 30 days. The company posted fourth quarter results that exceeded estimates and a profit for the first time in 4 years void of tax benefits. Reuters equities analyst John Cozy says a knee-jerk reaction of the stock may set the tone for a technical correction of the rally that began at the end of November. And Savient Pharmaceuticals is trading about 140% of its average daily volume. The company said some batches of its key gout drug failed to meet a manufacturing specification. The euro accelerating its losses, falling to a fresh 4-month low against the dollar. It's now hovering around 129.20 level that traders were looking at. Ex-Madoff aide Annette Bongiorno has been granted $3 million bail and is to be placed under house arrest, according to a New York court hearing. Bongiorno is set to appear in court again on January 14th. She was arrested and charged on November 18th for alleged role in the Madoff fraud. Coming up at 2 p.m., Reuters credit analyst Ed Rombach gives us his take on Ben Bernanke's comments on the Hill. And at 3:30 p.m., find out how Japan's deficit is keeping investors out of the stock market. That's with Oki Matsumoto, the CEO of Monex, Japan's second largest online brokerage. I'm Fred Katayama. This is Reuters Insider.